Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. News from the Pew took a week off, and we are here again. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, 2 weeks in this case. I am Rick Barrett, the host of Rickcast Reviews, and like 4 other channels that nobody watches. And so, hello, nice to see you. And to my joining me, as always, is the Godfather of Catholic alternative media. And blatant omission from the digital missionaries this week in Rome. We should have had Steve as our Rome correspondent this week. He could have hung out with Jonathan Arrington out there. He would have taken him around and shown him the sights. But
Jonathan's in town. He's in Hickory right now because the Colby Center is in town for a week. And
really?
So he came down to see the Colby guys. I'll go up one of these days to check to say hi to everyone. But yeah, he's in Hickory right now. Hickory. Anybody knows the old? Is that a Hemi? The Hemi guy. He's from Hickory. Straight up 321. But no, I think mail came in today. I haven't opened this letter up. Here it is, right here.
What are we looking
You
for?
are not coming to Rome. Okay. So.
I just got an email from somebody that just said no.
Honestly, I had no clue about it until
I know about it either.
Like you said, you brought up Mr. Lofton posted it. Before that, I had no clue that was going on. And I looked it up on Vatican site, and all they're going, really? They're having all this, and so this gargantuan number of people doing it. And I'm going, maybe they don't know. No, they know Church of Fidelity exists because I heard rumor. Not rumor. They were ticked off during Francis' time about a video from the Our Lady of Revelation series.
Mm-hmm.
And that apparently got the room, and they got a little twerked about that one. So I know they watched. But oh well. I'm glad I might not have gone anyways.
I would have been funny seeing you in a sea of like you with a bunch of 22-year-old like female like girl influencers, because that's all of them that and Steve's like, hi.
If you're over 30, you're not going.
Yeah, exactly. Which is weird, like, because just seeing Lofton there, it's like, huh? I mean, most of the people, not because I don't care. I'm ambivalent or I'm neutral on Lofton. I don't have an opinion on him either way. But like all the other people like TikTok and Instagram and they have all the highlights and they have all the reels, and I'm like, I don't know if you fit. It's just kind of weird.
There was that, and there was another creator conference. It's like, again, even
but Steubenville.
Yeah, I would have gone. I'm fine doing this, being here. If you want to do like a conference like that, be streaming, totally fine with that. And that's, get out, get on. And I got things to do. I'd be behind. If I went to Vatican with that thing, I'd be a week behind.
Right.
Just not alone, just the whole, kid situation and family. And yeah, probably everybody that's gone over there probably don't. Well, I think Leela brought her kid out there, which I saw Miss Rose out there.
Oh yeah, she definitely would be there.
But not big deal.
Listen, this is not us trashing them. Good for them. I'm glad they went. They obviously earned it through their hard work and whatever the case to build their
following. Back a T-shirt or something. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm going to be there in 3 weeks anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
All right. Okay.
Yep. Luce Quest begins in 3 weeks, so
I think they have an uptick on the dolls. Maybe
I saw a couple Instagram reels where they're like, "This is where you find Luce," and I sent it to my wife.
I do have my top stadium.
I haven't gotten that yet. My top
card on condition. It even has the inside to keep it safe. Nice. Paper rookie card mint condition.
Mint condition. I got
right there next to my Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card.
Hey, you know what? I'm down for it. I am down for it. I'm good to go with that.
I am waiting for him to come out against AI
well, apparently he's writing his first encyclical, so we're all kind of waiting. I think he's going to make, when that encyclical comes out, I think we're all assuming it's going to be, because he's talked about it in the past. So we're all kind of assuming that's going to be his big splash into, his forte, because he said it was one of his goals of his papacy is to confront the challenges of AI. So
the whole point of the picking the name, they got the. I remember was it Anthony put a tweet up, and I think Fawaz put one up talking about how they weren't sold on the idea that AI will take over industries like fixing a air conditioning vent or air conditioning unit. And uh, with the example on that would be, well, you haven't thought about UBI. If you don't have work, you're not having jobs. Like right now, they're paying people not to work in the federal government, around 145,000 people, something like that. So UBI, cities have tried UBI. And then on top of that, with the digital ID coming out, which is coming through, and the stable coins coming through, and maybe your car is was it the who came out the other day? I just had on Cloud Planet talking about Technocracy. Patrick Wood brings up talking about your smart meters are spying on you, and General Petraeus talked about your dishwasher spying on you. That was back in 2010s, 2012. I think he might have said that. And everything in between, the Alexas and everything else is spying on you. And there was that one commercial where it was a water commercial, I think it was. And she's leaving the door, and you see this Alexa globe in there, and the lock's turned. She can't get out. And what do you think you're going? What do you think you're doing, Jillian? And it turns around and it's, oh, my water. And it was a laughing thing. You and I talked about that. And it was like, it's a joke, but it was like, that's horrific. What if they don't let you out of the house? You have a smart home that doesn't unlock the door. That locks you inside. And what are you going to do? I mean, but yeah, then AI can diagnose your issue and maybe tell you. I mean, you go to YouTube. I do it now. If I try to check out, see if I can DIY something. If it's a air vent or air conditioning unit or fixing this or doing that, what can I do? How can I do that without avoiding putting a work order in, or can I get that done now? And 9 times out of 10, there's somebody on there that can figure it out. It's like, I know that one. I mean, maybe then if you're like, oh, it's too much. I did it with a car. I was working on a car that way. It's something and I found the right video, and I went to work on surgery in the engine. It's like, okay, this works. But I figured out it was past my prime on a few of the ones that took it to the garage after, but I got, I did a couple plays. I got to at least the second quarter on it. I'm like, hey, I was proud of myself.
Yeah, and it definitely is helpful for some of those things. Now, I've long said that AI will not go after the actual labor jobs, like air conditioning stuff that Anthony does and Fawaz, they kind of dabble in, which is why I've been saying Trump is desperate to get back construction jobs and manufacturing jobs as a way to kind of scaffold people off when they get fired from whatever jobs they're on, to have an option to do something else. Now, I could be completely wrong in that regard.
Yeah, Mike Rowe brought that up too, I think, about coding.
Yeah.
He's going after all the coding. You're not going after the jobs that I promote, which, yeah, there's a lot like the plumber. You're not going to work plumber.
Like a locksmith, a plumber, guys like that. Those will be the last to go. And I think those will be the very, very last. Because in order for AI and like the Tesla robots to do that, that's got to be decades of like fine manipulation and doing all those kinds of things. Like a Tesla robot right now can barely, walk 3 feet. So it's going to be one of those things that you'll see how it goes. So, they may be right. I will give them that because I've stated something similar, but the guys in the ground, but the office jobs for the air conditioning, the office jobs for whatever. I know Anthony works in road construction. Those can all be automated, right? Those, they'll take a knife and cut through those things. No problem. So they won't be totally safe, but they will be much better than, a lot of the white collar. I mean, let's be real, Steve. Most jobs in corporate America are fake and made up at this point. And those would be the first ones to go.
I would say 99% of the jobs, maybe even 100, no one's safe. And then you throw in including the travel if you're not down the street from it, and say your car doesn't want to take you somewhere, or you're not allowed to pay for gas for it, or you just plug in the destination and it says no. And so, what are you going to do in that situation? Or I was thinking of Hulk Hogan at the time. What are you gonna do when it
Well,
comes for you?
apparently, in his case, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Um,
there's and then you talk about plumber. I mean, uh, especially when it's talking about food wise and growing your own foods and starting to practice that, you can use that as also. David the Good brings this up in his uh, compost book, Compost Everything, and it talks about composting your own waste and how great that is for food, anyways. And you would and they tried it for a year. They built their own bucket. Him and his wife, they used it, and then they would put it out, dig a hole, and put it in the hole, and put dirt on top, which is people are like, oh, that's how you get disease. No, if the feces gets on food, that's the problem. If it's under the ground, totally good. Roots, it doesn't go through the root system or anything like that. And it's actually it's great for your food. So again, that's one way you can get around that, because who knows? I mean,
yeah, that is a great point, Steve. Who does know? Because everything is advancing to such a point that one day we were thinking this, and then they introduce, because everything they're introducing to us folks, and Steve and I have talked about this, they've been using in some type of application somewhere in the government, most likely the military, for the last 15-20 years. So they have an idea of what that stuff can be used for, and the reasons to use it. So and also we talked about this a little bit on my show, and one of my guys who I trust very much, one of my bar rats, we were talking about the job numbers and how the job numbers are not great. And he made a point that they just don't make sense, the job numbers that were released today, because they were revised pretty heavily and they are way off base of expectations, to the point that you have Trump and everybody in the government, Steve, begging Powell to cut rates. They're begging the guy to cut rates. And 2 days ago, he's like, yeah, I'm not cutting rates. And then the employment numbers came out and they went, maybe we will. maybe we're going to have to cut rates because this economy, despite the fact that every conservative influencer and their mother will tell you that this economy is great and that it's steamrolling and we're in a golden age and everything's fantastic. I don't know about you, Steve. I don't have as many financial obligations, i.e. your beautiful children, that you do. And me and my wife are like, dang, it is expensive out here. And I can only imagine how families are just trying to survive in this golden age.
It's $1,000 at least a month on groceries. And I grow food. So
Right?
that's other stuff that's not included, and that's diapers and things like that too. But I mean, I went today, and the bottom of the shopping cart wasn't exactly full. And it's still, and I'm looking at it going, how in the world does that happen? But go back into what we were talking about with the plumbing and water. Texas AI centers guzzle 463 million gallons. Residents are asked to cut back on showers.
And that's why they were seeding the clouds, Steve. That's why they were trying to produce more rain, because they need, you mentioned it up in North Carolina, they need the rain for the data centers.
Yes.
They need the water.
The flooding is good for that. Not good for you, but they don't care about you. You can be easily erased.
You can be replaced by an H-1B visa. So it's really not that big of a deal.
Or it makes the job numbers better too. So they don't care. I mean, the job numbers, like you said, and the Wall Street thing, with the Dow going down. Anybody that's watching, I mentioned this in Clown Planet, that's not indicative for anybody that's not money. Dow goes down 800,000 points, whatever. Hey, still gonna live fine. It doesn't bother me. It's like those guys out in the flyover country when the Great Depression hit. They were on record saying, "We had no clue."
Yeah,
didn't bother them one bit. But because they were growing their own stuff, they were living still the same. They weren't affected by that. But we watch it because we're like, "Oh my God, the Dow went down." It don't affect you if you're not into Wall Street. What does that do for you? Nothing.
I mean, even I've always been upfront with everybody. I have a retirement from, I got a little bit of money when my dad passed and I put it into annuity. It's all on the market. I don't even care because I'm not accessing it for another, hopefully 20, 30 years. So
I'll be gone by then. They're going to take that and it'll be
well,
a
I'll be
stable
at
coin
that
by
point
then.
anyway, Steve. So it doesn't matter.
I mean, already, I'm sure everyone's talked about this, is about the driver's license for the internet's coming at a
Yep.
rapid speed under the guise of we got to protect the kids. And if
That's
you
how they
don't
have to
like
do it with
protecting the kids,
conservatives.
and there's something wrong, you must be a pedo.
Mm-hmm. That's how you get conservatives to get on board with it, Steve. You have to protect the children.
Got to protect children.
And so that requires you giving up your entire life in order to do so.
That's when good again, MAGA with Trump coming in with the health, the AI, the health, digital health thing that he came out with 2 days ago. That 0.0 the cheerleaders are talking about currently.
Nope.
Well,
They
shoot,
never
they're
will.
not talking about any of that stuff. What else did they know about the? We got a nuclear sub going to Russia. We're not talking about that one.
No. Nope. That's not winning. That's not winning, Steve. We can only talk about the winning. Brian, why do the centers need water to cool? It's cooling.
Cool it down.
That's how you have to pump the water in. It cools it down.
Yeah, and they need a ton of it. There was now. Do not watch this TV series ever without VidAngel being present. TV series Goliath season 3 gets into Billy Bob Thornton is suing these big farms agriculture who steals the entire state of California's water for their own, and the rest of the people are in drought. Like literally, they turn on and there's no water coming out. Not exactly the same write up, but it's the same idea. These data centers gobbling up all the water. Joe and Jane Smith. Oh well, you guys don't shower or cook or anything like that.
So it's interesting because that season kind of mirrors what's happening now, even without the data centers, because Los Angeles County voted to have pretty much all the water upstream not kept for the farms. They pretty much ordered those farmers and everybody to send the water into the city. So it's kind of funny that plot line sounds exactly like one of the things that they argue about all the time there already. No, Brian, you're talking about people who have no idea what they're doing tomorrow. So there's definitely no strategy for recycling water. They don't recycle anything. Recycling.
Yeah, they don't. It's not recycling. They're just they got to use it, and then I don't know what they do with it. Maybe it evaporates inside. I don't know what they're doing with it. But it's not as recycle. Hey, we're going to use it and then filter it out to the hoi polloi and let them use it. No. We're taking it all, and then God knows what happens to that after that.
Yeah, they've only said we need the water to cool the centers, and then everybody went, "Oh, okay." And they didn't ask like, "Well, what do you do with it after?" Nobody cared.
Question in the back. What do you?
Silence.
You do it?
Silence. No.
It's that meme with the. Future Anakin Skywalker, when Anakin Skywalker and Padawan, we get to use the water, right? Right?
Right. We get to the rain. The seeding will give water for all of us too, right? Right?
No. Sorry, but no, yeah. And then on top of that, yeah, this was the other thing that I was thinking of when I mentioned that none of the cheerleading crowd, if I can get back to us,
the
is bringing us up is Trump's Washington. Palantir is winning big. And again, if you already saw, I went through this a little bit today, and Palantir has extended its reach even further into the government. And that's why you had Trump be elected, is for this exact reason. There's AI could surveil the U.S. citizens, and the government's in on it. But the main thing that you're not going to see Jack, Gunther, all those guys talk about, Palantir gets $10 billion contract from the U.S. Army.
Steve, you'd be surprised at how many people don't know that Amazon and Google and Microsoft have military contracts.
Oh, yeah. That's the attachment 201.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it doesn't shock me that Palantir gets it too.
Yep.
Right.
Palantir is definitely in. And now because the Epstein thing, the whole thing without, J.D. Vance, and they're already talking about J.D. Vance in 2028. They're also talking about Trump and, for getting rid of Amendment 22 and just becoming a full-time, never-ending president like the dude from El Salvador is doing right now. But yeah, I mean, if JD's in, it's Peter Thiel. We got a Peter Thiel presidency for the next 12 years.
Yep.
They're bombing the what everyone out there for it.
Which
what lavender is, and the gospel and all that stuff is based on Palantir systems and all that stuff that they're killing people with, which the CEOs come out. Yeah, we'll just kill people. It's great. Yeah, that's what, and we think we're going to get to go do our jobs. No,
they're setting us up to try and be fodder for the technocracy. And we talked about it a little bit. There was more stuff announced this week by Trump and the technocracy crew, and that was I'm having a brain for the ID for the kids and all these other kinds of things. I sent this to Steve, and I want, in case I'm gonna steal your screen for a second. Guys, the technocracy will come for all of us. And you think you can go to your jobs or whatever the case may be. They're starting to test run this kind of stuff. What is this? This is a company called Gauge, and Gauge is a company that lets bosses have a credit score over their employees. And meaning it's for hourly employees right now, but it's an entire system that is designed to the score is from 0 to 1,000. And if you do bad at one job, that'll be your score forever, Steve. And if you get they used to have better yesterday when I used this thing, they had better setups than this. I don't know why it stinks today, but this one may not reach yesterday they used to have a score on each one of these people, but it ended up with the white guy had a 300 and the girl had a 700. So we were all making fun of the racial dynamics. But stuff like that is coming. It may not be Gauge, but it'll be something else that will monitor. And we've been programmed by Uber. Uber has their own, right? Isn't it? Uber has a system, a scoring system for patrons there where the Uber drivers can score the patrons your score is a 6. So you're a bad customer and everything else. We've been programmed so slowly that everybody thinks it's this mass adoption. It's not, because the groundwork has been laid for years for this kind of stuff. And people are going to be shocked when this stuff is kind of dropped on us. Now, I don't think it's going to be dropped all at once. I don't think they can. I don't think like Captain America, Winter Soldier, you can't do it all at once. You got to get them to beg. You got to get the public to beg for this kind of stuff. I don't know how they're going to go about that, Steve, but you have to have the public want to embrace it.
Well, Laura Ingraham brought this up yesterday. See if it comes through.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, perhaps the most prominent advocate of that dreaded COVID passport, was out there advocating that we all have to have digital IDs because the future will be digital. You shouldn't have privacy, apparently. Yeah, that's what she believes. She claims that the IDs can be a real booster to emerging economies. The trick is to build public digital infrastructure, she said, that is interoperable, open to all, and trusted. Joining me now to explain just how dangerous this is, Nigel Farage, former Brexit Party leader. Nigel, this is about global government control and a way to what? Redistribute the wealth away from the so-called wealthy nations to everybody else?
Now, she's fine with that if Trump does it.
Yeah, of course. Depending. Also, Nigel Farage is so pro-immigration, it's ridiculous. People can't believe how he's so pro-immigration. But anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
Well, yeah, you don't hear. I mean, 27 states are doing it with the online digital age verification. YouTube starting in 2 weeks, I think it is.
Yeah, at the end of this month, beginning of the next month,
something like that. Australia's already doing it. Most of the EU's already doing it. Yeah, we thought he had a couple more years to go. We were probably going to have a driver's license to get online by the end of the year.
Well, Steve, you already have it with Real ID. Real ID's already set the template. They probably have a back door.
Take that. I still have the old ID.
Of course you do.
No, I don't even want that, but yeah,
I'm a sheep. I have the Real ID, but that's it.
Well, you fly. That's
my mistake. That's my biggest mistake.
You have to have that or combinations of 16 different documents to get you on a plane.
Yeah, which most of them aren't even staying in the air at this point.
No, yeah, the Minnesota thing. Like, well, I literally did a thing. I read about there was an article that someone posted about why is there so much turbulence in the skies. The next day is that what happened in Minneapolis, where the Mormons going to Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the funny part. Why is the Mormons going to Amsterdam? But
that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy that they are. That it just it's not getting any better. And Steve and I called this back when we started to see this kind of stuff at the beginning 6 months ago, even though it feels like 10 years with Trump, right? People forgot how like one day in Trump presidency, I know one day for the president is like 7 years worth of stress for the average person. 1 day in the Trump presidency is like 4 years to the average person. Just feels like
push-ups back, dude.
What?
We got push-ups back. We're winning.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tell me about the presidential fitness test, Steve. Tell me about it.
It's so imperative to the health of the nation
to
get young people back in shape, to get them motivated to exercise, to get them off their phones, to get them off of TV or screens, whatever screen it is.
When you watch the WWE.
This executive order puts us back into a place where we can motivate kids. I was, influenced by that president's counsel years ago. I spoke to Secretary Kennedy about it today. We both were a part of that, and it was motivating. My whole life, I have spent being in shape and the right nutrition and training. And that kind of activity teaches you everything you need to know about how to be successful in life. So it not only affects kids and their fitness, it affects their wellness, their mental health, how they approach life in general. And I feel like this is such an important moment in time, and I'm humbled and honored to be a part of it.
We all realize that Triple H did a heck load of steroids when he was in the WWE, right? We all know that. So when he's like, and don't get me wrong, he obviously did work out to get there and all these other kinds of things, but it's like, bro, your peak physical, the one that you use pictures of, you were on the roids. And I'm on the record. I don't care if they do that kind of stuff. But don't you can't be trying to tell kids. He's essentially doing the Hulk Hogan, eat your vitamins and say your prayers.
Yeah, in a sense. Or when I saw the video that the White House account put out, I immediately thought of Idiocracy and President Hacho Camacho, Mountain Dew, Pepsi Cola. I mean, seriously, how's it? This is literally.
That's the White House official Twitter page.
Yeah, that's a joke. I mean, really, you're gonna have, and you don't hear the music in the background. It's just coming out theme song. But really, I mean, that's all the stuff that the White House is putting out, the memes and things like that. It's hard to take these guys seriously. But yeah, I mean,
if this happened under Brandon, people will be losing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the decorum in the White House is terrible. That's a place of blah blah blah, a lot of dirty do. I gotta.
They did that with Michelle.
Yeah, that's right.
Obama did that. They were like, "Oh, hey, keep your hands off my kids," things like that. No,
yep.
I mean, no difference. I mean, same idea, except now you got a wrestler doing it.
Yeah.
But Stephanie McMahon says health issues affected her life, and apparently had a health scare that ended his career. It was a heart issue. Nearly took his life in 2021. I didn't know about that till looking it up. And when McMahon talked about the thought to Cena and all this, and
so I gotta throw this in here. We're talking about health and fitness. Real quick, have you seen this story? You probably have, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, the offensive lineman.
This guy, folks, look at this chunker. This is the first. He's 450 pounds. He cannot work out. This kid is a 21, 22-year-old rookie. He is so fat, they won't even let him practice. And everybody online's like, well, maybe if he practiced, he wouldn't be fat. But, we're talking about getting in shape. Look at these guys. These guys are ridiculous. This is disgusting.
Yeah, it was up to 100 some odd degrees, so they make sure he didn't pass out. He probably will practice when this week, today, actually, the cold front moves through in the southeast here. So we go from 100 to 80, literally 20-degree difference. Pretty much overnight. It feels amazing out there right now. He's a
professional athlete.
Yeah, I know. They drafted him. He's a rookie. He drafted him like this. They knew what they were getting, but I'm sure it's because it was so hot down there they didn't want to kill the kid. Because I'm
Then don't
surprised
draft a 450-pound rookie.
I don't get it. Yeah,
Or
but I
put
mean,
him on a
that's what most of the
treadmill.
people were
Don't
going,
let
hey,
him
you
stand on
drafted
the
him to block people.
sidelines. What?
I get it. No, people were saying, hey, you drafted him to block people. We get him in there and work him out. That's all you had to do. But no, he's just literally just walking back and forth.
Put him on a
That's
treadmill.
not going to do anything.
Put him on a treadmill, man. Like, do something. But that's the physical fitness that Triple H is going to bring back. I mean,
John F. Kennedy started it, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you pretty much everyone in here has probably seen it or done it back in school.
Yeah.
There's push-ups, pull-ups. If you could pull up, you had to stand there or sit there and hold yourself for a count of whatever it was. And I think was there laps? Was there like a
no? Steve, remember the box where you had to I believe these little alligator arms. I never did well on that. Never.
The box.
The box was a nightmare.
Third grade, fourth grade.
Yep.
I mean, but when I tried getting into PE, masters of PE, and that was a fight in itself. Half the head lady that runs physical education courses for the entire continent is a lesbo, and most of the people in there were too. I got demerited for just saying how you guys doing. Just saying guys would just, but they were talking about how back then PE was getting kicked out of schools and you didn't have the time to go out and play. It was more of
they got rid of gym for a lot of places, and they replaced them with like Zumba classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do all kinds of weird stuff now. So I mean, watching movies, things like that. It's not more of a physical thing. It's more like because they don't want anybody to feel bad because it's like the fat slamming thing. If there was like dodgeball was pretty much an excommunicatable offense. If I said dodgeball in the PE program, I might have gotten hung, drawn, and quartered. I'm not joking because they always said that you'd pick on the slow fat kid. And we was like, yeah, that's the first guy you're going after. You get the easy target. Yeah. And that's supposed to motivate the slow fat kid to not become a slow fat kid anymore.
Or catch the ball. One of the two. Or learn how to catch really the ball, buddy.
And throw it. One of the two is going to happen. And none of those, people were blaming coaches for making them overweight and things like that. Like punishment by exercise was wrong. Our high school coach made us run the stairs for an hour one time. That's all. It's just
one year when I coached soccer, my guys played so bad. The team, my coach looked at me and we drove back. It was like 7:30 at night, and they, their parents were coming at like 8 because we got home. We got back to the school a half hour early. My coach looks at me and just goes, "Run them." And this was after they had played a full game. I had them run the entire soccer field for about 10 minutes.
Yep.
By about minute 5, half of them were walking, but I was like, keep moving, boys. Yeah.
I remember Coach we were playing a road game. I can't remember where we were playing, but we lost. And it should have been an easy win. And he took the big boxes of sandwiches that we were supposed to have for dinner and took them out of the van. And we remember seeing the boxes being thrown into the woods. And then we got back and it was like 12 midnight and he turned the lights on and and it was sprints. He let me go early because I lived 25 minutes. I was the only one that lived off campus. Ended up getting pulled over that night. And I talked to the cop for 10 minutes about the game. He's like, really? What happened? And I explained to him the whole situation. It's just get home.
just get out of here. Yep. And the crazy thing is, Steve, the stories that we're talking about here, I can remember my coach did that to me when we played rugby. We were messing around, and so he got out and he's like, all right, guys, bear crawl the field. And this was a volunteer club, and he was still like, bear crawl. And we were like, all right. But it's funny. These are the things you remember. These are the things that you hold on to. And generations of kids don't have that because it was deemed too offensive or too any of this other kind of stuff. So they're just not mentally. They don't build through these things.
Even in practices, you had to hit 8 out of 10 free throws when it was time to free throw time. Yep. And if you didn't get the 8, you were you had to run. And it was the 4 court.
Did you ever
suicide one? You had to do it under 32 seconds too. And so again, that makes you be able to hit your free throw. So you work that doing that. Like
So we did that at the end of practice. Every single guy had to go to the line, and if they missed, the whole team had to run.
there was a couple guys
So,
like that. And
yeah,
usually
so
I was
pressure
picked to
on
make sure that sometimes I wasn't allowed to be picked.
you.
But yeah, there was a couple times I remember most of the usual suspects weren't running, and they're like, oh, let's run just to get. No, we're not running.
No, we're
All
not.
supposed to go through the hoop.
Yeah, no, that everybody when I went up, everybody's like, yeah, we're running.
There was a great story about Larry Bird in his book Bird. It was about the coach comes out and goes, "All right, I'm tired today. Whoever hits this shot from half court, we'll be done. We're not having practice today." Larry grabs the ball, goes in the showers, boys. And
he just
I can't remember who it was, a McHale or somebody. He goes, "I don't know why I doubt it."
Larry was the
He goes,
legit.
I stopped. I didn't walk through the thing, and he yelled at me after he went through the hoop. Why are you still waiting here?
The greatest trash talker in the history of the game. Oh, Larry was so good. He was
now you
so
hear him
good.
in interviews, and it's like, what? That you heard that guy? No.
The story about Larry with the Dream Team, because he was a shell of himself by the time the Dream Team was coming around, because his back was all messed up. All the young rookies came in, and they all took turns guarding him, and he would come down. He's like, "Yeah, he would be like, I'm gonna cross you and pull up at the elbow." And the guy's like, "No, you're not." He's like, "Boom, boom, bam," and he hits the shot. And he did that every single time for like 10 minutes. And all these guys like Roy, all these future NBA stars were trying to guard him, and they were like 19 in the prime of their lives. Larry doesn't have he's missing 5 discs in his back, and he's still
Apparently you could drink like a fish too. He took
yeah.
Barkley
He
out.
was a white guy from Indiana. Of course he could drink like a fish.
Yeah, he took Barkley out in Barcelona, and it was in the Paramount has a Dream Team thing on it, and they asked Barkley in the interview, "What'd you learn?" He goes, "Never go out with Larry. He had to carry me home."
Yeah, Lou, you're right. Sometimes the generations that love like LeBron and stuff, and they're like, LeBron would do this. Older dudes just drop a highlight reel of Larry, and they call the nickname. We can't say it; it's blasphemous, but they call him, like white, because he's just like they've never seen a guy like him ever. And just the gift that sports can be. I get what they're trying to do, President Trump and that kind of stuff, but this is just like most of the times kids. How are you going to get a kid who thinks he's a cat to do like 10 chin-ups or 10 pull-ups? He's not going to be able to do it because he's going to be like, meow, I can't do it, meow. And it's like, all right, yeah, you know what? Fine, you pass. I don't care.
Speaking of wrestling, I mean, here's Linda McMahon.
Yeah, the education secretary.
the Great American Farmers Market is coming to the National Mall from August 3rd to the 8th.
Oh, good. Mogadishu.
Local food and a great time with family and friends.
Are they going to clear out all of Mogadishu before they bring them into the Great American Mall, or I don't know?
We'll have a big screen out, and we'll show you the starving kids in Gaza that we're helping to kill right now. And we'll make sure and maybe we'll stream it. No, well, even better yet, we have a screen in Gaza. We're going to stream. We're going to stream the food we're giving away. Maybe if you throw it in the garbage, we'll give you $10.
Take one bite out of it. Say it's too cold, and then toss it in the trash, just for effect.
And wave,
right?
Wave,
and then wave, and then pledge your support to the most favored nation on your way out. Which, did you hear about that? Trump actually, I'm sure you covered it. Trump was about to do a trade deal. He was about to sign a trade deal with Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And then Canada's like, hey, we think we're going to recognize Palestine as a state. And he's like, if you do that, we're not doing a trade deal. And everybody went, what does Canada recognizing a totally different country have to do with our trade deal, Trump? Why are you going to blow up a trade deal for something that doesn't involve us? Like, are you out of your Are you out of your mind? It's just, you don't want to say anything, but you can definitely tell who has the influence over
Israel first.
What about the thing in Florida? Like the girl that the DOJ is going after because she apparently shoved a student. Like a Jewish. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I know Pam Bondi.
DeSantis is upset that the feds are taking away deputies and putting them in the ICE because they did a $50,000 sign-on bonus He's like, stop taking my boys away. Wait, Mr. Alcatraz Island down there.
Yeah,
It's like
Alligator Alcatraz needs. Oh, they actually were talking about doing one here in Texas, a version of Alligator. It's like, please don't do that.
You guys
so-
banned cell phones today in schools.
Yeah. Is that where? What state was that again?
Texas.
Yeah,
Abbott.
good luck
Yeah,
with that
Abbott.
one. Good luck with that one. That's not going to happen. So apparently this graduate student was being filmed by by somebody who's Jewish, and she went to grab the phone and that kind of shoved him. And so Pam Bondi launched the entire DOJ after this graduate student at Florida State because she shoved a person who is from Israel. And everybody's like, what about the Epstein list? What do you do? What? You're launching the entire. Is Kash Patel personally leading the charge against this graduate student? It's like, are you out of your blanking mind? Just what is? Am I taking crazy pills right now?
No, we are doing that. But hey, speaking of Patel and Epstein, is the FBI redacted Trump's name in the Epstein files.
Yep.
This from Conspiracy Channel, Bloomberg.
Well, conspiracy theory is now, as we like to say,
which we were talking beforehand. You said that they were going to setting her up for pardon. Yes, and she could be the kingpin for that whole organization. They're going to let her walk off because now MAGA is for pedos. Why? Because our guy's in charge now.
If legally, now I'm not agreeing with any of this. This is just a legal thing. Her lawyer is completely right to try and get her a pardon and send it to SCOTUS because she's in jail for 20 years on something that Donald Trump has put in a tweet storm is a supposed hoax. A supposed hoax that doesn't exist and it's not real. Any lawyer who's fresh out of law school can be like, well, what is she doing? That's her Fifth Amendment that is being violated right now.
Why is she in prison?
In jail. And she might not get a pardon from Trump, but I think John Roberts and SCOTUS will overturn it just because they hate Trump so much. They'll be like, yeah, by the way, release her.
It's a cluster. But hey, Russia, we got plenty of distractions going on to save anything. But we're threatening Russia again with nukes. You got 10 days to end the war, but we're going to give Ukraine $500 billion in weapons.
I'm not going to give the money to U.S. citizens. We got to give it to somebody.
They're trying to shoot us with $600. Remember that?
That's right. Thank you, Josh Hawley, for your
$600
pittance. But the idea, well, Steve, you and I talked about this on previous shows. Everything is not working out. The economy's in the tank. Nothing's going well. The only way to change the narrative, the Epstein thing is not going away. It has to be a war. It has to be some kind of international conflict that the U.S. will be involved in to change the headlines. I don't know if that's Russia. I don't know if that's Iran, but something within the next 6 months is going to pop off that the U.S. is going to get involved in because they're every time, like there was something on X about like, hey, there's a octopus UFO and that's on film, and every response to it, Steve, is great. Where's the Epstein list? Like they can't get away from it. Because every time they try to do that, they're like, great, where's the Epstein list, Pam? Kash, where you guys told us. And most people don't even care about the stupid list, Steve. I don't care about it. But the fact that you guys said you had it and you promised it and you're not, where is it? It's a Streisand effect. Where is it? Right? If it's not a big deal, just show it. Trump released something like 20 minutes ago. He wants everything involved with Epstein to be released. Two weeks ago, you called us all idiots and morons and said it was a hoax. Yeah. So is it a hoax? Or
it's that Robin Williams joke with Ellen DeGeneres. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. What is
it? It's crazy to watch this thing spin in real time, and it's just.
You brought up war.
Yep.
Here's antiwar.com, and the top things right here is Israel forces killed another 111 in Gaza.
Dude, Cardinal Pizza Baller is getting
nuclear arms use.
Pizza Baller is getting more and more vocal the more and more they keep burning towns in Gaza and stuff like that. I'm very happy that Pizza Baller is just like, listen, will you guys stop it?
The church
you got Mike Huckabee, Steve. You got Mike Huckabee being like, hey, can you stop killing the Christians in Gaza? Mike Huckabee of all people.
That's where they messed up. Is if they didn't bomb the church,
yep,
they could probably just set fire to the whole thing and let it burn and filmed it, and nobody would have cared.
Nope, it would have been B-roll footage on Fox News.
And then the prelates at least had the stones to maybe they were waiting too, because they know that if they say anything about most favored nation, they would get lambasted. But then when you get punched, then they were like, gloves were off. That was our opening that we can come out and slam it. Leo went after him.
Yeah.
Isabella went after him. I can't remember what that other cardinal was called. Then Yahoo scumbag of the world, pretty much.
Yep.
Good on them. More keep pounding at that.
Yep. I mean, everybody wants to hop on Leo for every bad thing he does, but hey, Leo, whatever you think about Francis, this is not an apologist. Francis was his best things was with his stuff on Gaza and calling that out. And it looks like Leo's following in the footsteps in that. And I'm happy to see church officials.
Like I said, I'd like to see what he says about the AI with all that's coming out of me, because it's cranking up more and more. And the videos that are coming out, scammed by $30,000 by NAP and things like that. That stuff is, and on everything else that's going.
Yep,
it's
lack of a better term.
You're not going to see most of them have no idea to do it either. How many years
going to be that industrial revolution? They just couldn't get the ball across the goal line there. Doesn't mean they won't try again. We just saw from the EU, they're pushing it too. China leads the way in the social credit score. And so it's going to be interesting to see how long people can resist the ideas that are being promoted to them constantly. And I think Steve nailed it on the head. The thing that's going to really put this nail in the coffin, if they don't blow it with the Epstein thing, will be installing, and I'm going to say the words now, installing JD Vance for 12 years, right? And just continuing the MAGA ideas under JD Vance and having JD Vance kind of just usher that all in.
Yeah, no. It's the military industrial complex is going to be all AI, drone bombings, and I mean, I didn't play it because I was going to get flack for just saying, "Hey, look at this," because it was the Israelis bombing a mosque with a drone, and most people were just going to say, all the mosque come down tomorrow. No one I know is.
I'm not going to cry.
No. But it's the thing that is, they would have missed it because it would have been like, that's what Israel's use it. Look at that war tech, and the future of war is going to be really nutty with all this AI and the drone warfare and things like that. But yes, they could easily.
Well, I mean, look what's happening in Ukraine. Ukraine is nothing but drone warfare.
You see that what they're doing with the Mexicans are doing, the cartel.
Yep,
they're out there in Ukraine learning how to do drone warfare.
Yep. So that is, I mean, yeah, it's definitely something that is going to shock people with the amount of technological advance that will be kind of just thrust upon you at the same time. And a lot of people I don't know how they'll react to it.
It's going to be people need to tighten down, pray harder, pray, hope, don't worry, of course, but yes, I mean, we're not trying to black pill.
No.
Don't worry. It's just like I said during the show earlier, is you can see the weatherman will tell you there's a storm coming. That's all we're saying. And hey, there's some stuff coming down the pipe that's going to be stormy. It's ominous, but keep it in mind and be able to get your mind right. So when you go to pray or you do your first Saturday devotion tomorrow, you know what you're going in for. Mm-hmm. And maybe you're praying a little bit harder. Like, all right, like John Vianney, when he got the R's, and he was crying while he was praying for the people there, and the people of ours went, we got somebody different coming in town. So it's not just, hey, ho hum, we checked off mass, we went to there, we took a couple photos, bada bing, bada bing. No, we got to get literally serious about this. Treat each other kinder online. Stop that's the whole thing of saying what they say. But hey, look how they love each other. You just look online, we don't show that at all.
No, and I will take my responsibility. I've fallen victim to that once or more often than not. And the fact is, I've been talking about it on my show for the last couple of weeks. I feel that there's a lot of people where there's this general, at least the people that I talk to, just feeling about how X and just social media in general is just becoming putrid, and it's doing nothing but promoting, fighting and just anything for the algorithm, dissent and just anger and all these other kinds of things. So it really is, I actually saw, I think it was from News from the Pew or one of the Father Ripperger had a good talk about discipline, and discipline in your prayer life can lead to discipline outside of your prayer life. And that's really, we all need to do it. We all need to center. I'm not speaking for anybody in the audience. I was just speaking for myself. You need to get better at being disciplined in the prayer life. And you'll find once you are disciplined there, even something as simple as doing the Angelus 6 noon and 6 can lead to graces outside of that. So yeah, this sounds like we're blackpilling you. All we're trying to say is, listen, the world has always been, and that's why we aspire for, a holy death and a blessed eternity, and to work for that, and to not let despair win the day, because in the end we won. We just have to keep that eye there. But really, it's also just, we're kind of telling you, like, the mainstream media is going to feed you the line of, hey man, everything's great, unless it's MSNBC. Obviously that'd be different. Everything's great, woohoo, MAGA and golden age. Not really, guys. Don't believe everything you see. And most of the audience that watches the show is pretty good about that. So we appreciate you guys actually sticking with us in that regard. So
I like how Sparrow had this one out today. Trust the plan. Talking about the robots are taking over. Just trust the plan.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they'll tell you. Well, you see that now with Trump. Just trust the plan. Trump's got it. He's got this. I trust Trump. Trump's in control, yada, yada, yada. So it is. Menda, yeah, I know it's tough, and I fall victim to this. I fall victim because Twitter and X, they reward conflict. They reward anger. That's how you get the clicks and the views, with drama and all these other things. And it's hard to not fall into that trap sometimes. And so we just have to be better about it. And there was actually a good talk this morning ironically enough, at the digital missionary conference. I know Anthony Stein talked about that. He covered that this morning. It was actually a good message. I don't remember it. It was not that good, I guess. But just the idea of being better online and being a better example. If you're going to be if you're going to put Catholic in your bio anywhere, not even as an influencer, but if you're like, I'm a Catholic husband, then we got to be like that. We got to be better. We got to actually represent what we say we are. And once again, I will be the first one to say that I am not not great at it. So I need to be better about it.
Well, amen to that. Yeah. No.
So what else are we looking at?
That's pretty much covered. I think we covered about 15, 20 different topics right there.
Now that Steve does Clown Planet, he doesn't like to go as long in these shows because he talks about it. Now he knows how I do. When you talk about it every single day for an hour, and then you come on this show, it's like, yeah, I already talked about this.
Well, I didn't want to make it the same thing. Try to be a little different.
No, I get it.
Not,
I'm just having
not
fun.
rehash the same thing I just did an hour ago or 5 hours ago, whatever it was.
Oh, I literally talked about half of these things for like an hour ago. So that's kind of the whole thing with that. So I guess we'll go to our cry room and our saint of the week. I had a good saint of the week. I think I'm actually looking for him right now. Let me see. I know. Sorry, folks.
I'll go cry room first on my end.
Yeah, help me out. Go first. So
here's what's going on in Chicago.
Buddy, none of those girls are going to date you.
So what you just saw is this group gets together on Sunday evenings at 7, and they get off stress and anxiety. They scream into the lake, to Lake Michigan. And some reason people do this. Yeah, it is actually off guard. Was it off guard? No, Tyler Durkin's Zero Hedge had a little thing on that. The top 10 things that shows you we are losing our minds. That was number 1. Goes to show you that we need to evangelize a little bit better what we're doing right now. If you people think that going off the Lake Michigan and screaming at the water is going to do anything. My saint of the week is going to be Ashlyn Thomas. I'm going to do a show with her in about 12 days. Yeah, she's running for school district, or what do you call it? The school board up in Fort. What the name's a sit town? It's in Virginia, Front Royal, Virginia. She's running for school board up there. It's a very tough race, apparently, from what I hear. There's a lot of people are opposing her and things like this. And I'm also off board. Charles Cologne contacted me, go, "Hey Steve, you want to help promote her?" I go, "Heck yeah, man," because I'd be like a big hypocrite if I said no to that, because act locally, think locally. Somebody's getting involved in local politics. Fantastic. So we're going to talk about what made her do that, how else other people do it, why she's doing this, things like that nature, and how important. We talked today for about 15 minutes, and she was excited. I was excited about what she's doing. I go, yeah, because it's not a sexy position, but it's a very important position, because she's trying. Whoever's in charge of that molds the minds of the youth. So you can have somebody that's a complete nutter mold these kids into abortion, gay marriage, all that stuff, everything. Or you can get somebody in there to, I don't know, get virtue into the school system and things like, because some people will say, why are you even caring about the public schools? It's like, well, the enemy is going to care, and they're going to keep going and going and going until we do something about it. So unless you're planning on getting rid of it, which ain't happening, get involved and try to work and fix it from within. And then you'll have some people say, well, there's some women doing it. All right, men,
where are you?
Get off your keyboards and get involved. If the women are getting uppity to do it, and you're going to complain about a woman do it, you're off the rocker a little bit. If you're going to just go get on, but you're going to be a keyboard warrior, armchair, whatever you want to say, and yell at her for not doing it, for doing this. Hey, where are the men at?
Yep, exactly. All right. So for my saint of the week, Republican member of the Arizona House of Representatives, Leo Biscucci. He has said he's going to be running a bill in Arizona next year to remove property taxes from properties that are paid in full. So I like that example. I think more people should be doing that, which as soon as I saw that, I sent a message to my wife. I'm like, looks like Arizona's on the menu for that one. So
Trump's
good for that.
Talked about doing that too. He thought about doing that, and if the rates weren't lowered, he thought about trying, not exactly, but talked about something like it.
I think anything like that is an absolute must in every single local state house, and every state government. Every single red state should be talking about something like that.
I know DeSantis is talking about it. I don't know if he's done it yet, but
I know he's pushing it. And I think the Florida State House is going to have to do it. So I think he's trying to get momentum behind that. But we're seeing other states pick up that message too, because their residents are like, hey man, you got to give us some relief here. If we paid off our house, especially if my house is paid off, I shouldn't essentially be renting my house from the government for the rest of my life. I already paid my taxes and my rent, all this other stuff. So good on that. I like that message. I like to continue that. I have two cry rooms. The first one is the entire conservative movement for worshiping Sydney Sweeney because she put on a pair of blue jeans, and now
you got some good jeans.
I don't. I'm 5'6" and chubby, so my jeans are not great.
I just saw what the whole fuss was about, going, what's going on? And I just listen to listen to
commercial's not even
whatever
that
we're
good.
saying.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that we're worshiping this girl because we're defeating woke, and we're falling in love with another liberal celebrity who's going to curb stomp the entire conservative movement the first chance she
It was
gets.
like a semi-porn commercial.
That's the thing too. They're like, oh yeah, and we talked about it. It's degeneracy. Just because it's heterosexual degeneracy doesn't make it good. Right? It's still titillating to men. It still brings men, thoughts that they shouldn't be thinking. So I'm not a big, this whole thing of like worshiping this girl because she put on a pair of jeans just shows how pathetic the conservative movement is. So that's
But then
cry
the
room.
outrage of, oh, you're a Nazi. If you what in the
Both
world?
sides, everything around it, Steve. That's a good point. Everything around it. Mark, I paid more
in the
attention
world?
to the car.
Just because she said she's got blue jeans? Really?
Yeah.
You went that far?
By the way, blondes are only like 11% of the entire planet, so be careful on that. People talking about like they're not exactly a majority of people. So that's my first cry room. My second cry room is going to go to Sig Sauer, the gun company up in New Hampshire, who after the FBI has come out and said there's a problem with their Sig P320 after Los Angeles and Dallas and multiple police departments have given up their P320 because the gun goes off, but without you pulling the trigger. And then earlier this week, an airman in Colorado died when he put his gun on the table in a holster and the gun went off and got him in the chest and he died. And Sig is doubling, tripling down, saying it's one of the most advanced guns in the world. You cannot fire without the trigger being moved to the back and all these other things. And it's corporate greed and incompetence at the highest level. And they deserve to be in the crime room. And, major people in the gun community, Brandon Herrera and other people who are like, yeah, I have this gun. I will never buy another Sig again because, guns are, especially when you buy a firearm, you want it to work. It's not like a hammer that if it's not built correctly, it won't kill you. So, the fact that the gun doesn't work and the fact that Sig refuses to take accountability for it, they are 100% in my cry room for this week. All right, folks, that's it for this episode of News from the Pew. We're going to get out of here so Steve doesn't have to talk about news for any more time because he's like, just get out of here. All right, folks, thanks for hanging out with us. Please do us a favor, like, subscribe, and share the News from the Pew. If you want to hear more of our individual shows, you can check out my show, Rickcast. Just type in Rickcast on YouTube or Rumble. I do shows 5 days a week, 6 p.m. Central Time. I also have a channel called Rickcast Reviews. Just type in Rickcast Reviews. I'm going to drop a review for the Naked Gun movie. Tomorrow, I have a review for Fantastic Four, for Superman, and for a bunch of other films I'm trying to get out as well, so you can support the channel there. For Steve, he has Clown Planet. That's on Census Fideum, right?
Yeah, I just put it on the main channel.
It's on Census Fideum. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. So
I'm just trying to do anything I can to beat the algorithm. So it's like, yeah, I'll do that. And
yep. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when Clown Planet's on. Download the Census Fideum app. It's a great app. It has all the benefits of the YouTube Census Fideum, except no videos get struck down there. So
somebody wrote me, said they canceled because there wasn't enough content on there,
which is the most stunningly crazy thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
I got 800 videos.
You can accuse me of not having enough content on my page, but to accuse you, Steve, of not having enough content, it's literally the only thing you do.
Everyone says I got too much out there. I never had someone say you don't have enough.
Yeah, that's just nuts. So that person's in the cry room too. But so if you'd like to support us individually, that's how you can do it. And just support the channel. Give it a like. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit the notification bell. If you're on X, retweet it. Right?
Right. There's sometimes you can catch me. I'm running out of breath on finishing a sentence.
Yep. So yeah, Mendez, get the app. Hey, Mendez, get the app. You can where can they find the app if they want it, Steve?
Censusfidelium.tv. Just
yep.
Roll that out.
Yep, censusfidelium.tv.
2-week trial, 2-week free trial. So if you hate it, you got nothing to lose.
but it's kind of like his Patreon. It's $5 to subscribe to it. It helps make sure that when YouTube does all their shenanigans, that there's still an outlet for it. So
yeah, if I get enough people, I'll add the TV app to it. So
yep,
just got to keep it growing so I can add more. I can do it. I can put it all over the place. I mean, I can have that thing up. I just tell the guys I put it together. All right, let's go Roku. Let's do this. Let's do Apple TV, and then all I just need is just need to get the funds to be able to pull that off. So moving and grooving, hopefully try to get the work.
Yep.
I had some parishes ask about it, but I had nobody's pulled the trigger yet.
So yeah, definitely. If you can help support that, I mean, ideally it'd be nice to have enough that he wouldn't have to worry about YouTube anymore, and that would be fantastic.
Yeah, because we're going to be kicked off that. I mean, they're going to literally I've had 2 videos get taken down this week. They're going to run out of videos. Well, they got. I mean, they need 12,000 more weeks to do that, but
it's a test of wills at this point. I think Steve's going to win out just because he has enough content to that one person.
yeah. It's I mean, every week I finished the Byzantine Saints. I finally finished that, so I don't have any more of those recordings. But now it's down to 12 a week upload.
That's crazy.
So that's not including the live stream. Not including this, so that's about 20 videos a week, I guess. Not including interviews, if I do any.
Yeah, I really only do I do 5 shows and then additional videos from the show. So it's not even a comparison. So make sure y'all go to censusfidelium.tv, get the app, support them, support this channel. We love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much. God bless. Until next week, Viva Cristo Rey. Tapping the microphone.